Hello you guys, this is Mari back with another video. And like I always say, don't be scared to fall because you may fall into a better situation. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Today we're going to be talking about the culture of gayness. This type of video isn't directed towards gay people or specifically, but it's just to educate everyone. White, black, straight, gay, men, women, just anybody. Just for educational purposes, educate everyone on what we stand for as the LGBT. What does LGBT stand for? A lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender plus. A lesbian is a woman who likes a woman. Gay is a man who likes a man. Bisexual is a man or a woman who likes either gender. And trans is either gender who is transitioning to the opposite gender. What makes the LGBT plus? We aren't boxed in. We aren't put into a box. We express ourselves with no limits, with no stigmas, with no stereotypes. LGBT is one entire community. It's just composed of different things. My trans sisters, my lesbian sisters, my bisexual brothers. So we're all a part of the same community, but don't get it twisted. We are not the same. The trans experience isn't necessarily the same as the gay experience, and the lesbian experience isn't the same as bisexual experience. I really wish my auntie would stop calling me. Our community go against what the world thinks a human is supposed to be. We aren't boxed in. Every one of us has a unique personality, composed of a unique balance of masculine and feminine. Some of us have 30% masculine and 70% feminine, and some of us have 10% feminine and 90% masculine. And because of this odd balance, it makes every last one of us uniquely different. So it's very hard to box us in because all of us don't act the same. And all of us are not the same. We go beyond what everyone else thinks. And I think that is what makes us so unique. Breaking the mold and breaking out of the box. We as gay people can enjoy what men enjoy, and we can also enjoy what women enjoy. There's no boundaries when it comes to us. Our community has never been gatekept, but it has become more closed off in recent years. And I think this is due to gayness being shot into mainstream. The idea of gayness has become lucrative to businesses because it is new. It's not new, but it's new to mainstream. I typed in my notes, don't be a part of putting gayness in a box when we have never been in that. Gayness has always been discreet, but we thrive in secrecy. We lived a life with no boundaries, and not many stigmas because the culture wasn't well known. I can only hope that the more we let the world into our community to open the doors for new generations of LGBT to do what we couldn't of today's time. Our community isn't met with stigmas that would plague gayness for years to come. We are not stereotypes. We are not the norm. We are aliens. Alien superstars. We spent years and years being happy behind closed doors. I'm so happy that we're finally at a point where gayness can be expressed out loud, stepping it up for new generations to come so they can have it just a little bit more easier than I did coming up. I think people want to actually be able to distinguish the gay man from the straight man, which is going to be very hard to pinpoint, but really no way to for sure know. So those of you that are trying to figure out like who's gay and who's not, if it's not obvious, then you really can't assume. And even when it's obvious, it's still not good to assume because you can offend. I don't personally get offended when people ask me, am I gay? Because I feel like it's obvious. But if you were to ask me if I'm gay, I would just tell you yes. But however, some people find it very offensive because it is offensive to ask somebody, especially if you don't have interest in them. I often get asked this question by women, and I'm going to tell you how it's offensive. It comes off as nosy simply because if I am gay, I know that you don't have interest in me. You just want to know. I can understand wanting to know because maybe you want to be friends with people, but that's not necessarily the case. Most people, when they ask, they're just nosy. Things that are a part of our culture like ballroom, voguing, pageants. We have a lot of things that go along with our culture. A lot of things that originated from us. A lot of styles and a lot of dance that originated from the gay culture, such as bounce music, which came from New Orleans. It's like the Big Freedom music or Vicky Lowe. That's my girl. I ain't heard her in a minute. I'm gonna pause you guys real quick because I just want to jump in and tell you guys to please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1K before the year is over with. I'm trying to up the score a little bit. Let's get back to the video. I try to learn as much as possible, even if these are things that I'm not interested in. And I'm the same way with my blackness. I try to learn as much as possible. I do have interest in learning more about my gay culture and the people who fought for me to have the freedom that I have today. The standards in the gay community are high. For one, we consider ourselves old at 25/30. Some of us don't act gay. Some of us don't look gay. Create a safe space for men to be more honest about what they like, and then men will start to be honest. Me as a gay man personally, I don't really want to be related to straight men because we don't relate. I'm completely okay with being called a gay man. It's because I am a gay man that does not mean that I'm not a man. The man is still there. Don't try it. Within the gay community, like myself, we have tops, bottoms, and verse. We have things like verse tops and verse bottoms, but I won't complicate you guys like that. I'll just keep it at surface level because over the years, things have been changing and it's getting more confusing and it's even hard for me to keep up. So I'm going to save you the hassle and not even take you guys through all of that and just keep it at surface level. The top is the one that is giving and the bottom is the one that is receiving, and a verse is the one who is in between. In the gay community, because a lot of us are wired to think like heterosexuals, we've taken these sexual preferences and put characteristics to them. I realize I've had some guys turn away from me because I wear makeup. Some of these tops, because I don't really believe tops exist, but we're going to say that they do. These tops that I've met, they don't really like boys in makeup. They don't want anything that reminds them of a female. Honestly, it's always been weird to me that we've taken these sexual preferences and put characteristics to it. I feel like we're putting ourselves back into a box. When you go to somebody, the question you should ask is, hey, what is your sexual preference? Oh, I like to bottom. Not look at somebody and just because they're feminine, oh, they're bottom. That's not the case. Like I said, I'm educating everybody. So gays, all of you, top, bottom, and verse is sexual preference. It's sexual preference. That's all. As masculine as you want, you can be as feminine as you want, but your sexual preference is top, bottom, or verse. It's not a characteristic. So nothing is tied to top, bottom, and verse. Get out of those heterosexual norms. Y'all are trying to put us back in the box. Stop that. So actually, one of the bad things about being gay is actually douching. OMG. It's very hard to make sex spontaneous because when you're a bottom, someone who is receiving, you have to clean every time that you have sex. And cleaning is not an easy process. You can either use an animal or a douche. If you want to be thoroughly clean, this could take about an hour and a half just to clean. But I normally walk around the house and let my stomach settle in for about another hour to just make sure that all of the water is out of me. This is about a 2 or 3 hour process for me specifically to make sure that I'm good. And this is one of the worst things about being gay because every time we have to prepare, and it's very frustrating when you prepare and then nothing happens. Wasted 3 hours preparing and no sex. Shoot me. And I'm telling you, it's the worst feeling when you've taken all this time to prepare and you don't get none. Whereas for tops, where they, just like any other typical guy, they can just whip it out. They're always ready. And what I like to do specifically for my relationships, and this is a tip for all my bottoms to make your relationship spontaneous, get on one accord with your top and don't tell him when you're having sex. Just tell him that you're coming over. But behind the scenes, you prepare but within yourself. And when you get over there, don't let him know that you prepare. Don't let him know that you're coming to do that. And just initiate it. Like, take your control back. Take your control back and make it spontaneous. When a guy doesn't know that he's getting sex and it just happens all of a sudden, for some reason it just hits so much different. But that's what I'm going to put y'all on. This is also for my females too, because even though I'm a gay person, I know about the body. I constantly hear about a lot of you girls, a lot of my girls and my gays. Y'all men don't be lasting that long. So let me tell y'all something. Let me put y'all on game. If your man is nutting too fast, make him nut before he comes over there. After they get that first nut out the way, the second one would take twice as long to come. And my bottom, If you want to last during bottoming, if you nut too fast as a bottom, just jack off before you go to your session. What I like to do is, I actually don't nut fast, but when I was having this problem, I would jack off before I go to my session. I would go clean, and then I would go have sex. You would think that after you release those hormones that you won't be able to actually have sex, but what it does is it makes it harder for you to get that second one. But if you do this, do not go to sleep, because when you go to sleep, that's when your testicles reboot, kinda, and they load back up to basically be another first nut. If he ain't lasting, make that nigga nut before he come over there, because that second one gonna always take longer. And try drunk sex. Drunk sex always make a man last longer. We have a handful of gays who still dress like boys because we were raised as boys, and we also have a handful of gays who dress like girls. We have to also realize that there is a such thing as femboys, where boys that actually look like girls, but they're not specifically trans and haven't committed to the trans lifestyle. So, and a fine example of this is Saucy Santana. He's a femboy. He could pop a wig on and easily be considered trans, but he's a feminine gay boy, but he's not necessarily trans. That is a femboy. When you're a part of the community, it's easier to keep up with these type of things, and it's constantly changing with the new generation of children coming up. They're really big on the pronouns, which I'm not even aware of myself. Gay boys in school with their crop tops on, y'all slaying. When I tell y'all, y'all are eating. The new generation, y'all are eating. Period. I think it's Gen Beta or Gen Alpha or something. Yeah, I think it's Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. We're very stylish, and the reason that I can say this because all of the stylists that you guys love and that everyone wears are gay stylists. It's just a known fact that gay people can dress. And I think it's because of that unique blend of masculine and feminine. It goes to show that you should tap into it. And these are some things about gayness. I can honestly go on all day about this, but I just want to end the video off with this. I recently was sitting with myself, and I always ask myself, like, would I ever transition? The thing is, I don't see myself as a woman. I don't see myself carrying myself as a woman. But when I say that I'm tapped into my feminine energy, I love being a boy. I like being a boy, and I like wearing girls' clothes. Sometimes I just feel like a lady. It's weird. I can't explain it, but I don't think that I would ever transition. I don't think that that is where this is going. But when it comes to things that I am interested in, I'm interested in female things. I'm interested in the things that females are interested in. I'm not checking for gays. Like, I spend most of my time watching females on YouTube. I'm subscribed to Aaliyah's Face, De'Ara. Like, I'm living my female fantasy through them. And I'm a little bit afraid of how far this is going to take me now that I'm aware of it. I don't know if this is going to mean transitioning or whatever. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think that I ever would transition because I like being a boy, and I like being, you know, butch. I like being feminine. I like standing out. I don't want to be a woman. I don't think I want to be a woman. Oh, wow. What y'all think? What does it sound like? Do it sound like I want to be a woman? I don't know. But, you guys, that is all I have for you today. I'm going to be doing 4 separate videos of each sign of the LGBT, and it's just going to be to educate everyone on what our community as a whole stands for, and some of the things that we don't necessarily like, and some of the things that we go through. In order to get allies, we have to educate everyone on exactly what this community is and what it stands for. But the community is so big and so diverse and so broken up and so different. I have to break this up into pieces for each and every one of you to even know what I'm talking about. I hope I could educate you guys, and if you made it this far, go ahead and give the video a like. It helps with pushing this video through the algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like I always say, stay honest. Bye.
So you're a tough guy, like it really rough guy, just can't get enough guy, just always so puff guy. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the